Dating has never been more competitive, with social media being a gift and a curse for guys who want to date and find women they're compatible with. Men are having a hard time meeting the demands women think they deserve, while women can't seem to find a man they want and need. Patriarchy Poker will teach men how to be more confident, control their emotions, and know when to hold or fold with a woman they match with. It's time to start embracing uncomfortable truths in order to grow into the man that women want to be with and other men want to be like. Go to patriarchypoker.com to get our relationship and dating playing cards or committed relationship playing cards. Because life's a gamble, so play like a man.
Today, we're going to talk about bromance over romance. Why we think men would rather be with each other than modern women. Do me a favor. Make sure you guys like the video, share the video. Let everybody know that breakfast is being served. Let's go.
Welcome to the greatest show on earth.
Yeah. Welcome to another episode of Finish Your Breakfast with AV. I'm your host, AV, aka Mr. Weekday Mornings. I appreciate everybody for being here. Salute to the chat, salute to the world. Happy Monday. Today we're going to talk about bromance over romance. Why we think men value friends more than girlfriends. Why do you think men value their relationships with each other than with the opposite sex? Today we're going to talk about it. I need your participation. Do me a favor. Make sure you guys like the video, share the video, let everybody know that breakfast is being served. Okay. Guys, we're streaming live on numerous platforms. I'm on Facebook, the Alpha Villains Podcast. I'm on twitch.tv/Alpha Villains. I got a backup channel, Mr. Weekday Mornings on YouTube. So do me a favor, hit the subscribe button on this channel and help me get my weight up on the backup channel, Mr. Weekday Mornings. Okay. Guys, if you're tired of compromising who you are as a man, please make sure you check out my book, Masculine Compromise, The Journey of Emasculation to Your Emancipation. A lot of you guys don't even realize that you've been forced or conditioned to compromise who you are. You've lost your identity. You're not getting the results that you want with women. You're not getting the respect that you need as a man. So do me a favor, check it out on Amazon, Masculine Compromise. Guys, if you want to support the show, Cash App, Alpha Villains, or send in a super chat. Channel is monetized and I couldn't have done it without you. Okay. Guys, if you want to catch Finish Your Breakfast Show, make sure you guys check it out on Amazon Music. If you want to ask Alexa while you're cleaning your house, you're driving, you're at the gym, you can listen to the audio experience of Finish Your Breakfast Show on Amazon. Each and every morning, a new episode is uploaded to Spotify as well. Okay, let's dive into the topic. Let's dive into the topic. Okay, let's just jump right into it. All right.
AV, you a sexy mother effer.
Know that. Good morning, everybody. I appreciate everybody for being here, man. Hope everybody enjoyed their weekend. It's a Monday. New start. Every day above ground is a new day. Every day is an opportunity for us to, kind of press reset. If you're new to the show, I'm a 49-year-old man. YouTube is a young man's sport. Okay? YouTube is a young man's sport. If you are an aspiring content creator, you're in a certain age bracket, a lot of times, for me in particular, sometimes I get conflicted, bro. Sometimes I get conflicted to the things that you guys are receptive to versus the things that I know that are necessary for you guys to save yourself some time. If I can spit something, you can get one gem off of my shows, and I say one thing that's going to save you a couple of years, prevent you from making silly ass mistakes. That's awesome. I think that's something that will be more valuable, and I'll be more proud of that as opposed to making silly faces on the thumbnails and doing the goofy shit. I'd like to think that my talent surpasses and exceeds any types of trends. Okay. Now we're going to talk about why men value friends more than girlfriends. It's going to be more of a conversation today. I don't have any articles to read, but these are just things that I think about all the time. Why do we think that men value bromance over romance? I mean, we've talked about it. There are so many shows that talk about modern women, their negative dispositions, their attitudes, their senses of entitlement, etc. So there's a lot of things that men have to go through simply for getting access to box. When I say box, I mean the vagina. Okay. I like vagina like the next man, but at my age, I find that it's important for us as men in particular to conserve your energy as much as possible. There are so many obstacles and so many things that we have to go through as men. Let's not talk about if you're melanated. If you're melanated, you're a man of color. I mean, that's another show. There's so many things that we have to go through. So if you are a younger guy, I think it's important for you to conserve your energy either way. Conserve it, bro. Don't deal with the woman who has a bad attitude. Don't deal with a woman who has a bad disposition. Don't deal with a woman who feels like she's entitled and she deserves the world. A lot of times as a man, if you're masculine, you have a strong sense of identity. A lot of times we are required or expected to clean up the last simp's mess. Okay, the last simp's mess. Is it your job to break a heart that heal a heart that you didn't break? Is it your job to uphold the expectations or the behaviors of the prior man before you, even though he was a simp, even though the woman hasn't proven herself to you? Absolutely not. So when we think about all of those things, you throw in social media, you throw in the way that the system, the quote unquote system, is designed to uplift women. I can appreciate and understand why a man would rather just hang with the homies than deal with a silly ass broad. Okay? What say you? Do you guys rather hang out with the fellas, guys nights out, guys trips, than deal with a woman who really doesn't have anything to offer you besides box? Now, if you're in a relationship, that's a little bit different. But we're talking to the single guys. I'm a single man. Okay. I deal with some women here and there. My numbers have diminished significantly. My numbers of new vagina, new rotations have diminished significantly. Why is that, AV? Because I'm working on this goddamn brand. Working on the brand. I'm very busy. And I know for the most part, most women are all the same. I always tell you guys to focus on what they are, not who they are. I've already accepted the fact that I cannot fall in love with the woman. I can simply have love for a woman. I prefer to understand women than to fall into that rabbit hole of love. Okay? Now, I'm not saying I don't love. I told you guys this before. I love all my bitches, etc. And I still got love for the broads that maybe broke my heart or led me astray, or I allowed them to lead me astray. But we find in these communities in particular that men value camaraderie to commiserate and congregate to discuss women. Okay. Now, why do we think that this is important? Now, this could be a detriment too, because when you're surrounded by a bunch of goofy ass niggas, you tend to become a goofy ass nigga as well. Right. So I'd love your feedback and to decide why you think men value friends more than girlfriends. Okay. Bros before hoes. Now, if you've heard me say this before in a past show, I said real men, quote unquote, real men don't believe in the fallacy of friendship. That's some young shit. That's some high school shit. BFFs and shit like that. You know, a lot of times you can have a quote unquote BFF and he'll bang you. He'll try to bang your girl. A lot of guys are so weak that they're eyeing your lady. They're eyeing your wife. They're eyeing your girlfriend. Only to expose some shit to her to make himself look better. Okay. What do you guys think some of the traits of quote unquote male best friends? What do you guys think are some of the traits that men value in a male best friend? A lot of times you could be non-judgmental. There's an opportunity that you can be kind of vulnerable with your bros, right? You can be vulnerable. We've talked about this. It's gotten a lot of pushback where I said that you shouldn't be emotional in front of your lady. Now I got a couple of comments on my Facebook where a lot of women said, "Well, if you can't cry in front of your lady, she's probably not the one." And you know what's interesting about this internet shit, this YouTube shit, this content creator shit, bro? I'll get attacked or there'll be some pushback off of a 50-second clip. I had to check a nigga the other day. I was like, bro, how can you possibly take any type of advice from a 30 to 50-second clip? It's a clip, bro. Watch the show in its entirety for more context. More context. You guys hold everything that people say and you use it as the gospel. Now, this was our decision, right? Nobody put a gun to my head to get on this microphone, get on the motherfucking camera and speak about this, things that I feel like I need to speak. I guess it was a calling of mine. A lot of people that I respect in this industry feel that I have the potential to do so. So I said, fuck, I'm going to do it. And I enjoy it. I went to therapy in the past 6 sessions. My therapist dismissed me if you're new to the show. So this is kind of a form of therapy for me. And again, my goal is to, remind men that it's important to be masculine, be unapologetic, and understand that it's okay. You know what I'm saying? It's okay. And if I could save you sometime, bro, that's what I'm going to do, bro, because you can't get it back. Okay. So I think some of the traits that male best friends are, you can trust them. You can be vulnerable with them. When you have a friend, who's kind of going through the same shit that you're going through. Maybe he has the same hurdles. Maybe he's in an unhappy relationship. Maybe his kids are stressing him out. You can have some type of camaraderie because the man, for the most part, is usually going through the same shit that you're going through. So there's a level of understanding there, but that's very rare today. That's extremely rare. How many times? I mean, let's take YouTube, for instance. All of these quote unquote alphas, all these old ass dinosaurs, all these people debating. Who saw the high value debate? This is the topic of the week, the high value debate. Some people made a list of traits that what the quickest route to get to high value. Everyone's tearing him apart. It's blood sport out here, bro. There's no love in the streets. Streets got no love. But 1 week you see them collaborating, 1 week you don't. 1 week you see them showing receipts. 1 week they claim they're best friends. 1 week they don't. So I think, for me, I will say, when I first got into this game, I wanted to be embraced. I wanted to kind of carry niggas records and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, be like a gopher, if you will, into these guys. But I thank God that my reception into the space has been slow and steady. Handful of men who I would consider associates or friends that really took a chance on me. So, but at the end of the day, when you become a man and you understand your identity, there's not going to be a lot of people that are going to relate to the shit that you're saying. As a man, you got to take some walks alone. All right. So when we talk about hanging out and friends and all this shit, everybody can get it on this microphone. I can get it. Anybody can get it. So when you talk about the debates, you look at all these guys who claim they're friends and they're not. 1 week they are, 1 week they aren't. This is something that you really have to understand, that there's a fallacy of bromances. Now, if you are a watcher, you're a subscriber, maybe some of these content creators saved your life. Maybe they walked you off the goddamn ledge. There's a sense of loyalty there. And I respect it. Men are more loyal than women. Okay? This is why they call us dogs. It's not because of our zest for life. It's not because of our desire for variety. That's a small part of it. But I think men are more loyal than women. And because of that, because men are more loyal than women, we have a tendency to be loyal to the people who maybe gave us an opportunity. Right? So you see a lot of these content creators. There's a lot of people. I told you guys when I started this show, or I got on the microphone, there were people that I was cool with. I was cool with one side of the content creators, and I was cool with another side, and I was a little reluctant to kind of shout this guy out or do a collaboration with this guy because some of these guys had different ideologies. And I think the beautiful part of being a man is the ability to stand on your fucking square. We don't all have to get along. And again, I mentioned this the other day. If you are more comfortable in an echo chamber, you're never going to grow. You're just going to be the recipient of what they feed you. That's not what men do. Men challenge ideas. Sometimes we have to resort to violence to get our point across. And even though I'm not condoning violence, sometimes you gotta get the respect that you need from a nigga. You know what I'm saying? You gotta demand it. If you demand respect from a woman, there should be no reason why you shouldn't demand respect from a man. It is what it is. Now, I don't suggest participating in beefs. 50-year-old man, bro. I would look very goofy doing that. I would look very goofy doing that, making thumbnails and shit like that. Just ignore them. Just like I tell you guys, when a woman gets out of pocket, ignore her. Ignore her. Walk away. Don't tolerate it. Nip it in the bud. If you got to ghost a bitch, you ghost her. Okay? Very important. I'm gonna say good morning to you guys in about 5 minutes. And let me ask you guys this: do you think it's easier to express feelings in bromances than romances? This is a topic that we've talked about. Do you think so? I think so. When you listen to somebody on the microphone, they will tell you that you're not supposed to have feelings, you're not supposed to have emotions. Men, we're all human. Okay, very important. But I always tell you guys, even if you have a friend, even if you have somebody that you trust, man, information about you, everything that you're going through doesn't necessarily have to be shared with somebody that you call a friend. Okay. Every day at midnight, the clock strikes 12. We reset. We reset and we remind each other why we are in each other's lives. Are you providing value for me? Am I providing value for you? Just because we have history doesn't mean that we share common goals. Just like relationships, some people grow apart. So when we say people grow apart, it's not necessarily just man and woman. Sometimes men grow apart. We have different ideals. We change. Maybe they don't like the trajectory that you're going in. Maybe they think that you think that you're all of that. So it's very important for us to understand that bromances, right? Friends, I think sometimes in this particular space, I think choosing to be in a bromance versus a romance is a code. I think men who prefer bromances over romances is a code. Maybe you lack game. Maybe you lack confidence. Maybe you just want to be around a man who understands and you want to complain about women all day. If you are not solution based and you want somebody to tell you it's going to be all right, or if you want somebody to relate to the problems of your inability to keep a woman in check, that's a code. So I get it. I get it. Why you want to have a group of dudes, you want to just hang out, you want to talk about each other's problems, you want to talk about the divorce that you experience, you want to talk about the fact that how these women are not paying attention to you. I get it. But how do you improve your life? How do you improve your abilities to seize the moment? How do you improve your ability or increase your chances to get into a relationship? Now, we were put on this earth. We were not put on this earth to be alone. I think companionship is extremely important, but you have to look at things on a broader scale, bro. This space, Red Pill, Manosphere, it's very broad. It's taken a shape of its own. It's kind of morphed into something that I think the OGs aren't necessarily pleased with, but it was inevitable. When podcasters started inviting women on shows, raising the bar, now it's kind of taken a life of its own. And now I think the older guys are trying to contain it. When you see 50-year-old men and shit battling younger dudes, I think that's a little goofy. That's not necessarily masculine. They lose their cool. And then when they lose their cool because they're human, now everybody's coming at them, bro. Bromances. Now, for me, I would much rather Don't get it twisted. You know what I mean? I would much rather hang with a beautiful woman than a bunch of dudes. I don't necessarily need a lot of men around me to make sure that my testosterone's in place. Now, there's a time and place, right? There's a time and place. There's a time and place to be with dudes. It's not all about women, but there's also a time to be around a beautiful woman, to be intimate, to dominate, etc. You know what I'm saying? This guy's it's the yin and the yang. You got some testosterone, and the bitch has estrogen. Okay? This is how we mix and mingle. But if you guys want to continuously hang out with dudes, be mad at women, you're never gonna get out of your comfort zone, bro. Women are people too. Okay. Now let's talk about 5 characteristics of a bromance. Now, again, guys, do me a favor. Make sure if you're in the building, make sure you like the video. That incentivizes YouTube to push the channel to the masses to share my video to help me get my weight up. And if you are tired of compromising, do me a favor. Do yourself a favor. Check out my new book, Masculine Compromise. It's available on Amazon. Amazon.com. Look for Masculine Compromise, the journey of emasculation to your emancipation. This book really allows you to connect some dots. If you were raised by a single mother, even if you were raised in a household with 2 parents, maybe your father wasn't necessarily masculine. Maybe you didn't have masculine energy or any types of examples to kind of compare yourself to. So now you are identity stricken because now you're looking at different people and you're looking at society to tell you what a man is, only to find out that when you get older, you're not getting the results that you want with women. You're not getting the respect from your peers. Okay. Now, number 1, a trait, characteristic. I'm going to say good morning to you right after this one, guys. Disclosure of personal matters. We just talked about this. You look at it on YouTube, right? Disclosure of personal matters. How many receipts have content creators shared on YouTube, bro? How many fucking receipts have content creators have you seen shared exchanges between content creators? Now, I get it. I told you guys, I get the whole texting thing. It's receipts, especially when you're dealing with women. You know, you gotta keep a paper trail to ensure that you protect yourself. But you never really know, bro. You never really know that. So that's why, again, when you decide to disclose things for people, a lot of guys think that they're gonna keep your secrets safe, and that's not necessarily the case. All right. All right. Thanks for being here, guys. Main TV. Peace, peace, peace. Harlem World. Peace, my bro. Appreciate you this morning. I appreciate you for being here, man. SJ3. Salute to you, Wade Emery, my bro. Good morning to you, man. Happy Monday to you. Now, let me say this, guys. Pardon me. Tribalism. Okay. We got to find our tribe. We have to create a network, and we have to be around a bunch of guys with like-minded men. Very important. That's a very important thing, but it's so important to not lose your identity in that process. Now, it's only natural that when you start to hang out around people, you start to get some of the good habits. Sometimes you tend to speak like other people. You tend to do different things. That's okay, but it's always having that natural balance for yourself, bro. So that's why it's important for you guys to embrace solitude so you can understand and sometimes reset yourself. Now, if you support tribalism, that's cool. I've been on the fence about it because I've been a lone wolf. I ran away at 17 years old. So I kind of had to raise myself to my detriment. Running away from home at 17 was a good and a bad thing. I think it was more bad than good initially, but now in hindsight, in retrospect, I can see how it helped me at least to have some type of conviction, to have a different vantage point or a viewpoint on the world, the way that I'm talking on the microphone, right? There is a level of authenticity about my delivery. I hope you guys see that. I'm a regular dude. I made some mistakes. And I'm still trying to find my way, if you can believe that. I'm still trying to find my way on this microphone. I'm still trying to find my message. It's difficult to try to convince males that masculinity is a good thing. Not every male is a man. And when you have a plethora of men who are claiming that you need money, you need muscles, you need game, pardon me, you need money, you need muscles, you need women to validate you, you need game. I feel like they're missing out. You're missing a really strong component. You're missing out your mindset, bro. And that's what I'm trying to convey to you guys. Now, when I level up and my channel starts to blow and I start to become a little bit more financially free, I'm pretty goddamn sure I'm going to be the same. You know what I'm saying, on this microphone, because the message shouldn't change. Whether I make more money, whether I have a nicer car, nicer watch, my rotation starts to increase, with more women. The message has to remain the goddamn same. Your mindset is the most important thing, man. Okay? Some people call it game. But at the end of the day, if you don't know who you are, you don't know the life that you want to create, you're always going to be relying on other men. You're always going to rely on a bromance instead of a romance. And when I say romance, it's not just women. Sometimes you have to be able to be in the relationship with yourself. You have to romance yourself. How do you romance yourself? You take care of yourself. You go to the gym. I don't know. You get a goddamn facial. You get a massage. You take yourself out. Nobody's going to love you as much as you love yourself. So instead of us relying on the crew, the boys, putting guys first, before you put yourself first, focusing on looking for the validation of your peers, start learning how to validate yourself, man. Because those peers that you're looking for validation for aren't necessarily reciprocating that energy. I've told you guys this, okay? Now, some of you guys may say, well, AV, you're a struggle streamer. You got 2.4K subs. You're talking all this shit. That's a whole fact. I'm definitely a struggle streamer, bro. I can't get into that algorithm. I'm trying. But if me having to sell my soul, if me having to be goofy on this microphone, if me having to lie to you guys and telling you what is important when I know deep down what's more important, then I'm going to have to be a fucking struggle streamer, bro. It is what it is. Because I got to be able to wake up in the morning. Now, again, this is a business, right? I shouldn't have to tell you guys to donate, support the show. Maybe the content you think isn't worthy of a donation. I'm not going to tell you that. You want to donate? Cool. You want to support? Cool. But when I wake up, it's important for me to say and remind you guys that, the only person that you can really trust is yourself. If you find and you're on your journey, you do find somebody who is like-minded and who is on his own path of discovery, maybe you can bond with that person organically. Shout out to my bro, Afi Kingdom. Okay? Who would have thunk it? I'm a cocky bastard. He's a cocky bastard. It could have went either way. We could have not liked each other, or we could have, but in turn we do. He's a younger man than me, but he put me on. He gave me an opportunity, and it stuck. Now he allows me to co-host with him some of his videos. We talk all the time. We talk strategy. He wrote the foreword to my book. That's loyalty. But because he shows me love, I show him love back. You see what I'm saying? Sometimes the bromance, if you want to call it that, has to make sense too, my niggas. It's got to make sense too. Now, fortunately for Afi, we really enjoy each other's company, and we're cool. You know what I'm saying? But when you guys look at bromances and you guys rather congregate with guys, how much sense does it make for you guys to associate with yourself, with those guys? A lot of times, you'd probably be better off hanging out by yourself. Okay? Very important. Number 2, overt expressions of emotions. I touched on this. Okay? You have to be very selective on how you decide to express yourself. Sometimes it's even dangerous to express yourself or show some type of emotions to your boys, because now they're going to clown you. Yo, This thing is a bitch ass nigga. I get it. If you feel like you need to cry, you need to talk about something, do it in the privacy of your own home, bro. Just because you'd rather not show any type of emotions, you want to practice stoicism. There's nothing wrong with that. But you got to let it out, guys. Being stoic, being emotionless, keeping a poker face is important. That's part of something. That's part of survival mechanisms. That's some shit we have to do outside because niggas will eat you up like food. We know that. I hope you know that. Okay? You're judged on how you look. You're judged on how you shake hands, eye contact, how you deal with your emotions. Are you losing it? Are you acting emotional during a debate? When somebody challenges what you say, do you critique that person and put that person down, or do you challenge it in a respectful way? These are your leaders, bro. These are your OGs. Okay? I remember one time, you've heard me say this too. I said, I haven't saved any lives that I know of. I have a lot of respect for the OGs, the dinosaurs, whatever you want to call them, that did this red pill shit. And I thought that was a fair assessment. And even though when I said that and shit, I was still insulted by that. So fuck you. I ain't friends with none of you niggas. I already told you that. Okay? I already told you that. If it makes sense, cool. We could rock out. We could be associates. Time reveals. My authenticity takes time to convey to you guys. Can you trust me? Does this nigga know what he's talking about? Is he real? Is he really that dude? Time will tell. Time reveals. Okay? Very important. Very important. Learn how to manage your emotions. But again, just because they got a cock and balls doesn't mean they can relate to you. There are a lot of guys out here, just because we're men, doesn't mean that we have to relate to one another. We all walk through our own shoes, and a lot of you guys want to try to walk in someone else's shoes because you've seen them from rags to riches. They've done certain things, but they're leaving out certain components, certain key elements to how they really got there. I heard a content creator say, yes. I mean, again, I'm not even going to go there because then you guys are going to start putting two and two together. Think for yourselves, guys. I mean, I can't give away the truth for free. I can't give away the truth for free, bro. You guys would rather pay for lies. Okay? Very important. Harlem World says solidarity is the best company you can keep. How comfortable are you guys being by yourself? That comfortable silence, bro. Do you need background noise? Now, let me tell you this. Been running away at 17. I had to learn how to embrace solidarity. I had to learn it, bro. And then when I started to get used to it, then at one point in my life and shit, that's all I wanted. I was more comfortable being alone than being around people. So you guys got to find a balance, man. Embrace solitude, but also learn how to turn it on. Some of you guys are introverts. I am an introvert, but I've learned and mastered how to turn on my charm, turn on my extrovert energy when I need it. And that's something that they don't teach you in school, man. They don't teach you in school. They're not teaching you this at work. If you're introverted, they just categorize you as an introvert. So if you're an introvert, now you tend to look for other introverts, and now you both are being introverted and missing out on opportunities. Okay? Very important. Now, if you're an extrovert, you're the life of the party. Everyone is expecting you to do goofy shit. When I was partying back in the days, hard body, doing coke, drinking and shit, a lot of my boys would be in the VIP table. They would just send me out to the dance floor and shit. And they know they would like to watch me like talk to bitches, dance, be the life of the party, and then bring girls back to the goddamn VIP. And I lost myself. I felt like in order for me to give what everyone was expecting me to give, which was being extroverted, being a clown, being the life of the party, I associated that with drugs and alcohol. So now I lose my identity. So like, okay, we heading out on Friday, I bet. I'm doing bumps in the car. I'm doing bumps in the bathroom. I'm drinking. I'm pre-gaming. So I can give what people expect me to give. You lose yourself. You know what I'm saying? These were my bros. These were my bromances. Where are they now? There's some guys. I don't have a lot of friends right now. Life gets in the way. Everyone take the trajectory. I get that. And because you're an adult and shit, you know, there's some of my niggas that I wish we were breaking bread together so we could see each other more. I wish I was breaking bread with some of my niggas so we could see each other more. I wish some of my boys that even though aren't into this content creator shit, we had opportunities to talk more. So thankfully, my bro, some of the guys that I talk to, we all do content. We all have similar struggles when we're doing this content creator shit. We talk every day. So relationships start to bond, but it makes sense. Do you understand what I'm saying here? I like this show, whether it's large or small. I've cut out other streamers, but I make time for yours, bro. It's top notch in my book. Salute to Wade Emery. I appreciate you, bro. I had the pleasure of meeting Wade in St. Louis. He drove a while to come see me, not just me, pardon me. Shout out to Mark Daniels, Afi Kingdom. We did a show. Wade was on the stream. I appreciate you, bro. Real shit. You already know. You already know. We shook hands. We looked at each other eye to eye. He knows what it is. You know what I'm saying? But I appreciate you. Bishop Macmon, peace, my bro. Salute to you, my nigga. Hope all is well. I do my best as an enlightened man to balance my logic and my emotion. That's awesome. An enlightened man. Enlightened. Very important what you just said there, bro. We are a rare breed. I'm telling you right now. And it's hard. It's hard, man. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to be enlightened. You know, sometimes when I tend to enlighten people around me, they're like, oh, here we go. AV's talking that shit again. Only for them to find out, oh shit, he was actually right. When you are an enlightened man, you know, the Most High gave you a gift, or you can see shit that most people can't see, you're not going to be well received. You're not going to be in the popular crowd. So you need a very strong sense of self. You need a very strong ego. I ain't come out the womb like this. I was misled. I didn't have any structure. That's what wasted me some time. So if you are younger and you feel like you kind of lost, you just going with the flow, there's more out there. You don't necessarily have to get your passport to discover there's another world out there. You can create the world anywhere you are as long as your mind is right. You know what I'm saying? Bishop Mack also says emotional intelligence comes with self-awareness, self-reflection, and self-control. You spitting, my bro. Self-control, bro. You new to the show? I used to flip tables, nigga. Boom, fights, beef. I'm coked up, drinking. I'm steroided up. All of that. You know what I'm saying? Miami. I'm that douchebag with my shirt off and stop it, bro. Stop it. Good times. Don't get it twisted, but what are we doing? Okay. Checking in AV. 25, it's time to be alive. 49, the holes in mind. 50, time to dress nifty. Appreciate you, Iceberg, for being here. We got 3 more before we get up out of here, guys. Feelings of trust and love. This is a characteristic of a bromance. Trust and love. I got love for you, my niggas. I got love for you. You trust them. You trust them? That's where discernment comes in. That's where discernment comes in. Time reveals, in order to gain trust or to trust someone, when you have to share something or something is exposed and you have to kind of tell them, that's a characteristic of a bromance, right? Your right hand. You know what I'm saying? There's certain things that I know about some people that nobody will ever know because that's not my character. If we boys and you confide in me, I'm not going to tell him, yo, don't tell him though. You know what I'm saying? You tell me some shit, it is what it is. Now, I would love to expect that from you, but that's not always the case. So to make it really simple for everybody and shit, don't take it personal, bro. But if I didn't tell you this is because, I just didn't want any mishaps. I just wanted to keep it close to my chest. I like to do my dirt by my lonely. Okay? That's how I move. I know gangsters. I know niggas that, you know what I mean? That's just the way I move, man. You know what I'm saying? And I respect the fact that if you don't want to tell me shit, that's cool too. Most of the time, if you become a man of discernment, a lot of people don't have to tell you shit. You already know shit. You ain't got to tell me. I'm not going to press. I'm not going to push because it's probably that. But it's cool, though, my nigga, because you still my dog. Okay? Willingness to be vulnerable. Vulnerable. What does that mean? Damn, bro. I really like this bitch, AV. Bro, my credit cards are maxed out. I'm broke, bro. Bro, I'm tired of this shit, man. I'm feeling kind of depressed. I'm feeling kind of down, AV. That's vulnerable. Now, if I tell you guys that on this microphone, I'm feeling down, guys. I'm a little depressed, guys. I always have this poker face. I'm cool. I'm bulletproof. I don't have any types of emotion. How realistic is that? You feel me? How many times did I tell you guys I did simple shit? How many times do I tell you guys that I walk the line every motherfucking day because I want to get high and drunk even during the day? It's not cool, bro. Okay? I'm always coughing. I got a post nasal drip. I think maybe the goddamn coke has disintegrated my nasal cavity. It's not cool at 50 years old, okay? But these are lessons. I share them. I incorporate them in my delivery so you guys can be like, fuck, shit is real. Shit is real, bro. Okay? Look at all these YouTubers and shit. They're getting fat. I'm not letting YouTube kill me, okay? And I'm not just saying fat, unhealthy. Ever since the C19 and shit, like, I've been forced to sit down. I work from home. My spine is all messed up. Like, I'm walking different. I told you guys this. Walking different. I'm like, damn, what's up, bro? AV, what's up? Okay? Very important. So being vulnerable and deciding to share that with the world, you have to be careful because people will use that. They're looking for a chink in your armor. They're using that for your kryptonite. They're looking for your Achilles heel. But when you have a friend, your boy, you can share these things. You know what I'm saying? It's a nice feeling. But at the same time, guys, when you want to share your story to a whole bunch of other guys that you don't know, but they can simply relate to a similar story, that's not necessarily healthy. Do you understand what I'm fucking saying here? Nobody's going to love you like you love yourself. Nobody's going to be able to protect your interests like you. We pay for coaching. If you guys want to get coaching, invest in yourself. I'm not downplaying that at all. But what I'm saying is you have to understand when you do something and you make an investment in yourself, you seek counsel from someone. What's the end game for you? I know what their end game is. You cash app them. You send them PayPals. You support their courses. Cool. But what's your end game? Not everybody's your fucking friend, bro. Okay? Very important. Bishop Max says, ever since I moved to Duncanville, onwards to Dallas, Texas, from Little Rock, Arkansas, I built up high-frequency brotherhood connections and bromances with BM over here. Now, let me say this. Bromances, we're using that for context. We're not doing this on some gay shit. And again, with all due respect to everyone who, if you decide to be homosexual, I'm heterosexual, okay? I'm old school. I like women. But we talk about bromance. We talk about bros before hoes. We're talking about like-minded men because in these spaces, build a tribe, iron sharpens iron, all that shit. Sounds hot. But are you sharpening them or are they sharpening you? A lot of times, what's crazy, what's another crazy thing, bro? These content creators have these cult followers They have, and it's like you don't have to worry about the content creator stepping to you. You have to worry about the followers, the subscribers. They want to do anything to prove to the content creator that they got their back. So they'll say, hey, listen, AV said some shit about you. Oh, I know a guy who knows how to disable Instagram. I can disable his Instagram for you. Do you want me to? Oh, you know what? I know somebody who's a private investigator. I can dox AV if you'd like. Bro. So you handling their light work. You can call a content creator a pussy, but he got like 5 dudes ready on standby to make a name for themselves just so they can show and prove their loyalty to a guy who really doesn't give a fuck about them. If you got in trouble for a content creator, you got into some legal issues for a content creator just because you wanted him to know your fucking name, do you think he'd help you with your lawyer bills? Listen, man. Energy doesn't lie. It's a fact. Okay? Life is the real master teacher. Bing, bong. Bishop Mac won't kick spitting game. Life is the real master teacher, bro. Life. And let me say this. The life that you were given isn't the life that you have to live. The life that you were given is not the life that you have to live. If you want a better life, go after it, bro. Yeah, we can't choose our family, but blood don't make us fucking family. I've said this. 2 more. Non-judgmental feedback. This is a problem. A lot of you guys are choosing bromances over romances because you think that you're not going to get any judgment back from your peers. If you're all nerds, you're all nerds. A lot of you guys are congregating with guys who are not necessarily good with women, but you've actually improved. You've actually learned. You've actually taken some of the things that you've listened to and heard. You've invested in yourself. You say, you know what? I'm doing a little bit better. But because you have a strong sense of loyalty, you feel like you have to stay tied to a bunch of guys who don't want to improve. Now, they encourage you. You shouldn't care what people think. That's a fact. I don't give a fuck what you think. However, you can talk about the positive shit on this microphone and shit, and niggas will still come at you. Fine. At the end of the day, I realize, especially seeing with the bigger content creators, there's no loyalty in this shit. Subscribers are a vanity metric. That's what cancel culture comes in. You guys have a lot more power than you tend to remind yourself and think that you have. You guys can cancel somebody in a heartbeat. But at the end of the day, it's about being critical to yourself too. You have to look in the mirror and say, you know what? I could do better. Don't rely on your friends or your peers to tell you that you should do better. A lot of times people will tell you, hey, you need to do this and that, but they've never written anything. They don't have a show. They're not on the camera. They're not putting themselves out there. I'm out there already, bro. I'm out there. It is what it is. I've told you. I've said shit that I shouldn't have said. I'm like, fuck. Shouldn't have said that. It's going to come at me. So it's very important. Guys tend to be around men that are not going to judge them. And it's not about judging. It's more so about challenging you. You need to be around people who are going to challenge you and have your best interests at heart. Very important, bro. Like, if you're not being challenged on a daily basis, and I'm not talking about what life throws at you. I'm not talking about the shit that your baby mom's is telling you. I'm not telling you about maybe if you have kids, your teenagers defying you, society, HR at work. No. You got to be around men who want more because you want more. If you don't want more, then you might as well just be happy with what you got. But like I said, you don't, just because you're living a life, that's your choice. I'm an example of that, right? Came into this YouTube shit late. There are guys who are doing it even later than I am. Just remember that. Very important. Bromance is men collectively improving each other and building each other up, leading to being a group of real, authentic, enlightened men. It's a fact. Mac Bone. Enlightened men. How do we get there, guys? How do we get there? You become the proof. Guys, why are men forced to focus on bromances? The dynamic is a group of us are looking up at this one savior. The group of us are looking at this one guy or a couple of guys at the top of the mountain, the Mount Rushmore of the male improvement spaces, to idolize and pedestalize them. So let me get this straight. You don't want me to pedestalize women, but you want me to pedestalize men?
Breakfast is being served, baby.
We shouldn't be pedestalizing anybody. Men shouldn't pedestalize men. Men shouldn't pedestalize women. You know, you should pedestalize yourself. A lot of you guys aren't pedestalizing yourself. A lot of you guys aren't respecting yourselves because you don't feel like you've accomplished anything worth pedestalizing. Guys, we're all in control of this shit, bro. Yeah, some of us are lucky. Some of us has better genes. But in order for you to get a new hand of cards, you got to play the hard cards that you were dealt, bro. How are you going to improve your life if you're constantly looking and comparing yourself to other people? It's important to be around like-minded men, but in order for you to be around like-minded men, you have to be a man who other men want to be like. You have to become a man that other women want. In order for you to do that, in order for you to be authentic, you got to learn how to become the best version of yourself, define that, be comfortable with the man in the mirror, and if you're not, make the necessary improvements to become that guy. I appreciate everybody for being here. Do me a favor, hit the like button if you enjoyed the show. Cash App Alpha Villains or send in a super chat. Keep fucking grinding. I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace.
According to the Survey Center on American Life, 79% of married men are very satisfied with their relationship. But expectations have been stressful for men bearing the burden of performance to a woman's nature. Men have to protect and provide only to be replaced by a bigger, better deal. Patriarchy Poker will teach men how to be more confident, control their emotions, and know when to hold or fold with a woman they're in a committed relationship with. It's time to accept the beautiful lies and ugly truths, to become the man a woman can respect and other men want to be like. Go to patriarchypoker.com to get our committed relationship playing cards or relationship and dating playing cards. Because life's a gamble, so play like a man.